Hi! Welcome to the first episode on the Horrifically Queer YouTube channel. Horrifically Queer is a business I created about a year ago. It's been revamped a few times, but the goal of the business is community. It's to find people that love all the same shit that I love. Horror, Halloween, and being queer. So if you like horror, Halloween, and anything LGBTQIA2S, this is the place to be, because that's all I'm going to do here. I've got lots of ideas for horror things, Halloween things, and plenty of queer things, and I'm excited to take you guys on this journey with me. Anyways, this is our first episode, but if you like this episode, please like and subscribe, leave a comment, tell me all the things that I pronounced incorrectly and misremembered. I'd love to see it. Please share it with your friends. Let's bring more people into our cute little community. Anyways, this first episode is about my top 10. Well, not really top 10 because I didn't actually put them in order, but like the first 10 movies and shows that I thought of that are my most favorite horror and Halloween shows. This list is way longer than this. I think I came up with much closer to 20 things, but then I narrowed it down for 10 for this first episode. But lots of spoilers ahead. But I hope you enjoy. And thank you so much for listening. Let's get into this shit. I'm reading notes off of my laptop just in case you're wondering why I keep looking this direction. Anyways, the first movie on my list is Practical Magic. Practical Magic came out in 1998. It has a runtime of 1 hour and 44 minutes, and it is rated PG-13. This movie is a Halloween movie. Sadly, I think there are only 4 Halloween movies on this list. But there's also movies that I watch specifically in the fall, but they aren't technically Halloween movies because no part of them takes place on Halloween or is about Halloween lore and folklore and shit like that. But Practical Magic is, because in the final scene of the movie, it's on Halloween. Practical Magic is about a family of witches. These witches are hated by their whole town. Very Salem Witch Trials-esque, even though I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be, like, it is the 1990s when this takes place. They also have a curse placed upon them that any man that falls in love with them will die. So the movie follows 2 sisters, one whose first husband died and is raising her 2 daughters and is trying to fall in love again and get the next man that she falls in love with to not die. And then the other sister has been in and out of abusive relationships and accidentally kills her abusive boyfriend and is now being haunted by the ghost of her abusive boyfriend. And in the end, they need all of the PTA moms to come together to help them cast out this ghost. And then the town stops hating them because PTA mom power, I guess. And then on Halloween, everyone comes to their house to watch them all jump off the roof in their cute little witch costumes and glide to the ground because they don't hate them anymore. Anyways, my favorite part of this movie is when the PTA moms all show up because it's just like a cute little party. They're drinking margaritas, they're having fun together, they're jamming the music, all while they're getting ready to cast out this ghost. The PTA moms remind me a lot of Mrs. Hart from Agatha All Along. If you know what that is, you know, like, this is the movie that is that, I guess. And if you don't know what that is, go watch Agatha All Along. It's wonderful. Anyways, I also love this movie because I think it would make the perfect Forkin film, which is where you eat all of the same foods that are in the show during when the characters all eat them. So in this movie specifically, you would have midnight margaritas when all of the characters are drinking midnight margaritas, and you'd have chocolate cake for breakfast when they're eating chocolate cake for breakfast, among other things. I have definitely specifically rewatched movies so I could make a list of foods that they eat to make Forkin films out of them. I love Forkin films. I also think this movie is just really cute. It's super cozy, super fall. I think it shows witches in less of a supernatural and more of like an herbalism, realism way, which I feel like is definitely what real witchcraft is, you know? It's so cute. I give this movie a 9 out of 10, and if you want to watch it, you can watch it on Tubi. Movie on my list is Imaginary, which came out in 2024. It has a runtime of 1 hour and 44 minutes and is rated PG-13. This list is not in order, just so you are aware. I have no idea how I would organize these movies. It would probably depend on which one I wanted to watch next. Anyways, Imaginary is about a little girl named Alice who starts being visited by the same imaginary friend that her mother had. This imaginary friend inhabits her stuffed animal teddy bear. And this evil imaginary teddy bear is trying to kill her, essentially, and kill the mom, all because the mom left it several years ago when she moved out of the house. And the mom, Jessica, Alice, and Alice's older sister, Taylor, have to essentially band together to fight the monster and save everyone's lives. My favorite part of this movie is the teddy bear convinces Alice to hurt herself. I don't remember exactly what she does. I think she stabs herself. Correct me if I'm wrong. I haven't seen it in a year. And so Jessica gets a therapist to talk to Alice to help Alice through this because they're kind of all freaked out right now. And at the very end of the interview, Jessica's like, so is there something wrong with the bear? And the therapist is like, what bear? Because the bear can only be seen when it wants to be seen because it is the imaginary evil entity thing. And I thought it was so chilling. It was so spooky. It was like, Jessica, you are seeing things as much as Alice is seeing things, and you didn't even know that you were seeing. Oh, so good. I think this movie is so spooky. It's so fun. There's lots of like beautiful little bonding moments. It's so sentimental. Absolutely wonderful. 9 out of 10 for me. I watched this one in theaters, which is another reason why I probably like it, because I am a sucker for movie theaters. Even though sometimes the sound is so fucking loud, I should bring earplugs. Anytime I watch a movie in movie theater for the next like 2 weeks, it will be my favorite movie, no matter what. I love movie theaters. The next movie on my list is Annabelle Comes Home, which came out in 2019. It has a runtime of 1 hour and 46 minutes and is R-rated. This movie is the third movie in the Annabelle franchise. Not in the Conjuring universe. I have no idea what order this one comes in, but in the Annabelle specific universe, this is the third one. And my favorite of the three. I don't know if it's my favorite of the entire Conjuring universe. I think I have to rewatch Conjuring the Devil Made Me Do It because I love that one. And then I'll let you know when I do that. And then I also haven't watched any of the Nun movies because those ones scare me a little too much, and I accidentally started watching one a little too late in the evening and then had to literally not watch anything spooky for like a week because anytime I close my eyes, I just fucking saw Valak. My imagination hates me sometimes. Anyways, Annabelle Comes Home is about Judy Warren, who is the daughter of Ed and Lorraine Warren, and she is being babysat by these two high school girls, Mary and Danielle. And Danielle accidentally lets out all of the ghosts, all of the entities, all the demons from all the artifact room that's like under lock and key because she is trying to see an apparition of her dead father to essentially apologize to him because she blames herself for his death. If I remember correctly, which please correct me if I'm wrong, she was driving the car and crashed, and the car crash is what killed him. And so she is trying to essentially apologize to her father because that weight is just eating her up. And anyways, the three girls have to survive the night with all of these demons, all these entities, and all these hauntings. It's so beautiful. And none of them die, and it's fucking awesome, and I love it. My favorite part of this movie is Judy's birthday party. So at the beginning of the movie, you get little glimpse of how all of Judy's friends have decided that they will not come to her birthday party because this kid in her class told everyone about how she's probably cursed, just like her mom is. She can see ghosts, and everyone's kind of terrified. And at the very end of the movie, Mary and Danielle show up to Judy's birthday party because they're kind of her only friends now because they survived this whole ordeal with her. And then after they come in, all of the kids come in that had previously turned and said no, because Danielle is the older sister to the kid that was spreading rumors about Judy, and tells him that he needs to like be nice to her, and he like apologizes to her. And it's such a cute sentimental moment. And that's like, anytime a horror movie can be funny, sentimental, rom-com, and horror, makes me love it 10 times more. If it's like just straight horror, sometimes I don't love it as much, which I know is funny because I do love the Saw franchise, and that kind of is just straight horror, and I love it for being just straight horror. But anything that is more than just horror, chef's kiss, love it even more. I just think this movie is just so fun. There's so much scary shit happening, but there's also some sentimental moments, and I think it's very well balanced. This movie is a 9 out of 10 for me, and if you want to watch it, I think it's on Netflix. We are up to movie number 4 on my list, and this is another Halloween movie. It's Return to Halloweentown, which came out in 2006, has a runtime of 1 hour and 28 minutes, and is rated TV PG. This one I think is my favorite Halloweentown movie. I should truly rewatch them. They're so wonderful. I remember those being like literally a staple of my childhood. I would attempt to watch them every Halloween, but we did not have cable for a while, so it didn't really work. Anyways, this movie is about Marnie going off to college and all of the professors at her university, at Halloweentown University. I actually don't know if that's what it's called, but I think it might be called that. They kind of attempt to steal her power or use her like family's super magical family magic to give themselves dominion over Halloweentown and rewrite the laws and shit. They're batshit crazy a little bit. And in the end, Marnie chooses to give up her magic so as to not let them win. And there's also just like cute little sentimental moment at the end because she gives her magic to her brother who doesn't actually have magic of his own, but it's still been accepted to the university, and so she gives like her magic to him. And I think it's just like a super cute moment because they like have been butting heads the whole franchise because they're siblings, but it's still super adorable. My favorite part in this movie is when she travels back in time to meet her grandmother when her grandmother was her age, and I think they just have a cute little bonding moment. Also, her grandmother is hot, and I think that's great. I just love it. It's such a fun Halloween movie. It's not very stressful. It's super colorful. The costumes are wonderful. The monster makeup and the monster prosthetics are so fun. It reminds me a lot of like musical theater because you're trying to go very bright, very above, over the top, and I love that about this movie. And I think a lot of Disney movies, as much as they are cringy as hell, they do a great job at being very musical theater-esque. And I appreciate them for that. This movie gets a 7 out of 10 for me, and if you want to watch it, it's on Disneyplus. Next movie on my list is Totally Killer. This movie came out in 2023. It has a runtime of 1 hour and 46 minutes, and it's R-rated, but it's also another Halloween movie. In this movie, you get like the whole beginning of the movie takes place on Halloween, and then the ending of the movie also takes place on Halloween. And it's really cute. It's really fucking cheesy, but I fucking love it. Anyways, this movie is about a killer from 30 years ago who comes back to try to kill Jamie's mom, the one girl that got away from the friend group that was killed 30 years ago. So Jamie has to time travel to go and save her mom, and is also hoping to save the other 3 girls that were murdered back then. And so many twists and turns, and it's so fucking funny. My favorite part of this movie is when that group of friends, this is in the 80s. She travels back to the 80s. So the 80s friend group of her mom, her and her mom's little friends all go to a cabin in the woods to go and hang out for one of the girls' birthdays after the first murder. And they start to smoke weed, and they pass it to Jamie. And Jamie is like, this is the most shit weed I've ever had. Half of this is twigs and dirt. How are any of you high off of this? And I think it's very fucking funny. I like all of Jamie's little quips about how different 2023 is versus 1980s. I think they're funny. I know a lot of people think they're kind of cringy. Like, my husband very much thought they were really cringy, but I thought they were hilarious. I liked every single time Jamie was like, whoa, respect women, douchebag. I thought it was so funny. Anyways, I think it's very fun. I think it's very progressive. I love all of those little moments. I think it addresses sexism and homophobia in a very funny and yet serious way. I think Jamie does a great job at like not being overly cringy about it, which I think is super awesome. I also think the cast is fucking great. You have Kieran Shipka, you have Olivia Holt, you have Charlie Gillespie. There's so many other people. But there's like the mom from Modern Family's in this. One of the dad from Riverdale is in it. It's just so many such good actors. I think it's so funny. It's also like just so pleasant to watch. My husband did think it was wildly stressful and would not watch some of it with me because he was too stressed out, which is fair, but apparently I didn't think it was stressful. But then again, I watch horror movies for fun, so what can I say? Anyways, this movie gets a 10 out of 10 for me, and if you want to watch it, it's on Amazon Prime. Next up on our list is actually a TV show. It's Over the Garden Wall. Over the Garden Wall came out in 2014. It has 10 episodes, and I believe each episode's about 20 minutes long, totaling about 2-ish hours of total runtime, so you could very easily watch it all in one sitting. And then it has a rating of TV PG, and it's also another Halloween one. So this show is about two brothers, Wirt and Gregory, who end up in another world after running away from the cops on Halloween. And they have to figure out how to get home because they're kind of lost. They have no idea where they are. And they meet tons of people, tons of creatures, and they make new friends. And they also grow closer as brothers and learn to have to stop judging people, but also Wirt's whole character development is about allowing the creativity and weirdness that his brother brings. And Gregory's whole development is about listening to his brother and realizing that there are things that can hurt him a little bit and that he needs to pay a little bit more attention, I guess. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I could have just bullshit all of that right now. Anyways, my favorite part of this whole show is when Gregory, the younger brother, falls asleep and ends up in a dream world where he has to save everyone in this world from an evil storm cloud. And that happens, and it mirrors what's going on in the real other world where he thinks he needs to sacrifice himself to save Wirt's life. He is saved, but I just think it's such a sweet moment because you see Gregory, who can't take anything seriously, essentially, doing something really serious and willingly sacrificing himself to save his brother until someone comes along and saves him. I also just think it's such a cute movie. It's so cozy. The animation style is one of my most favorite. It reminds me, vibes-wise, a lot of Hilda, because Hilda is one of my favorite shows as well, and that one's a lot about mythology and folklore, and all the little creatures that Hilda comes in contact with, and I feel like this Over the Garden Wall is the spooky version of that, and it's so fun. And I just think that the relationship is really sweet, and they grow close together as brothers, and it's very adorable. I give this a 10 out of 10, and I think it's on Hulu. I think it used to be on Max, but it's now on Hulu if you want to watch it. Number 7 on my list is Addams Family Values. This is the second movie in the Addams Family movie series. This one came out in 1993. It has a runtime of 1 hour and 34 minutes and is rated it is rated PG-13. This one is about Uncle Fester, who gets married, but his new wife is batshit crazy and is truly just after his fortune because Fester is the older brother, and tries to kill him several times, none of which work. And then also Wednesday and Pugsley go to summer camp. This movie, I don't know, you could call it a Halloween, you couldn't call it a Halloween movie, but I think you could call it a fall movie because while they're at summer camp, they do a Thanksgiving reenactment play, so it is a fall movie in my opinion. Anyways, my favorite part of the movie happens to be the Thanksgiving reenactment play, because this little prissy blonde bitch is playing the main pilgrim girl, and all of the kids that are kind of hated all get shoved aside to be the Indians, and Wednesday decides that she's not going to take this shit and decides that the Indians are actually just going to perform a coup instead of sitting down for the bullshit Thanksgiving dinner. And they start lighting the entire set on fire and tie the girl up and attempt to burn her at the stake before one of the counselors comes and saves her from being burned. I think she's a bitch and deserves to get lit on fire for a little while. And also, it's hilarious as fuck. It's such a funny moment. And apparently the only part of the movie I've told my husband about. I love the Addams Family. I love that they embrace the weirdness. I think that is very queer of them and very, very sweet and so adorable. And I think they just such good family energy. And the summer camp scene is so funny. And the wife that tries to kill Uncle Fester, and Uncle Fester just does not die. There's so many good, funny moments in the movie. And then Wednesday just has such great one-liners throughout the whole movie. This movie for me is an 8 out of 10, and I have no idea where you could watch it. Oh, apparently you can watch it on Pluto TV. The next movie on my list is Coraline. Coraline came out in 2009. It has a runtime of 1 hour and 40 minutes and is rated PG. This movie is about Coraline, who's moving into a new house, and in her bedroom is this crawl space that she crawls through, which takes her to another world. And in this other world, it's essentially a mirror realm of the world that she is currently in. Her parents are like the ideal version of her parents, and all of the people that live in her little apartment building are the ideal version of how she like kind of wants them to be. And so she has to choose between staying in the other world or going back to her world and saving her parents. And eventually she chooses saving her parents, and I think half of that has to do with the fact that the other mother is trying to steal her soul, and she kind of wants that. Anyways, I also have read the book for Coraline, and the book is so good. Fuck the author, but the book is great. My favorite part of the movie is just color. I know that's like the dumbest thing and not a specific part, but I could write essays about how important color is to this movie. I have a BFA in fine arts, and my emphasis is drawing and painting, and so I spend a lot of my time trying to think of why color should be color, essentially. And color is so important to how everything is in this movie. It is like one of the biggest plot points is what colors are being used. Because, like, especially just the differences between her world and the other world, you see a flip-flop of color. Where it is dull in one world, it is bright colors in the other world, and it's just so important to the plot, and I think it's so fucking beautiful. My favorite scene in the book, however, is at the very end when she is playing the little game to get the other 3 children's souls back. She goes into the empty apartment in her little apartment building, and there's a crawl space in there, like a little trapdoor basement in there, where she was told there was another eyeball in there, but she was lied to, because what was really in there is the other father, and the other father like pops out of it and is trying his best to not kill her, but he is like, I was written essentially to kill you. The other mother gave me life so that I could kill you, but I am trying my best not to. And I think it's just so fucking cute, and it's so good, and it's like gut-wrenching and scary all at the same time. Absolutely wonderful. I love this movie. This movie was the first movie to ever scare me. I watched it for the first time when I was like 6, when my sister's friend slept over and decided to show a 6-year-old Coraline, which is probably fine actually. But I didn't watch this movie until I was in high school again, and I fucking love it now. But it was so scary as a 6-year-old. Anyways, such a wonderful movie. I give it a 9 out of 10, and according to Google, you can rent it. It does not look like it's streaming anywhere. The next movie on my list, number 9 out of 10, is The Rocky Horror Picture Show. This movie came out in 1975, has a runtime of 1 hour and 38 minutes, and is rated R. After getting married, Brad and Janet's car breaks down one night in the rain, and they end up in the mansion of Dr. Frankenfurter, who is trying to create the perfect man. Brad and Janet fall under his spell and his love, but Frank is eventually killed by his alien friends because he has become distracted from their original mission. I love this movie. We literally watch this movie every Halloween. It is not a Halloween movie, but we do in fact watch it October 31st every year. My favorite part of this movie is definitely the time warp scene. I think it's so funny, it's so vibey, everyone's just having a grand old time, and then every single time it like cuts to the narrator, it's hilarious. The narrator's presence is just very funny, and I think it's such a good movie. Even if you have to watch it like 4 times to actually understand what's going on, it's funny every time, and it's wonderful every time, and it's a little spooky and a little crazy, and you're like, what the fuck? Great. It's my husband's favorite Halloween movie as well, and so I think that's also why it just like makes it even better. I also love that you can sing along to it. You can get the little script and you can play along to it, and you can we'll sit there reading through the script trying to make sure we're throwing the rice at the right time. It's so funny. I give this movie a 7 out of 10, and I think you do have to rent it if you want to watch it. Last but certainly not least, probably actually maybe my favorite, is the show The Fall of the House of Usher. This show came out in 2023. It has 8 episodes. Each episode is 1 hour long, but so fucking worth it. This whole show is about a brother and sister who trade their bloodline and their life for wealth and prosperity. Each of the members of the family dies in a beautiful, poetic Edgar Allan Poe themed death. My favorite part of this movie is the death of the second sibling, Camille, who is the second daughter of the original two siblings. And she is mauled by a chimpanzee. And during the scene, the chimpanzee, who is also the lady who they traded their souls for, essentially, is giving just the most gut-wrenching monologue. It's so wonderful. I also just love Camille. She's so hot. Kate Siegel could kill me and I would be grateful, to be honest. My other favorite part is Camille, at this one point in time, turns to her little internee assistant people and literally tells them, "Don't talk to me until I've come twice." And I think that's the best line from the movie, and I have in fact made it into a sticker. It is so funny. I love this show. It's a show, not a movie. I'm so sorry about that. It's scary, it's poetic, everything is Edgar Allan Poe themed. I mean, Fall at the House of Usher is a short story written by Edgar Allan Poe, but every character's name comes from an Edgar Allan Poe story and has to do with, they're named that for a reason. Every death is Edgar Allan Poe, every prop is Edgar Allan Poe. It's literally Edgar Allan Poe Inception, essentially. It's so good, it's so poetic, it's so fun. There's some cute comedic moments, there's everything is every twist and turn. But in the end, everything is tied up in a nice little bow. All questions answered. Fucking wonderful. I give this one a 10 out of 10, and if you want to watch it, it's on Netflix. That brings us to the end of my first video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked any of these movies, I will list in the show notes what platform I watch them on or where you can watch them. If you liked it, leave a comment, share it with your friends, like and subscribe to the channel. If you want that Fall of the House of Usher sticker, you can go find that sticker and plenty more stickers at my shop at www.drawillustratedpaint.com. I also sell some stuff on Etsy. You can also follow me on Instagram and Bluesky, and I think technically still TikTok. I don't remember what social media I have, but it's usually all under either Horrifically Queer or under me, Ginger Baird. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what I should do next. Thank you.